So let's get to question 4, which says find the distance from the line x is equals to 2 plus t, y is equals to 1 plus t, z is equals to minus half minus uh, t over 2, or half times t, and to the plane x plus 2y plus 6z is equals to 10. So we are given a line in parametric form, and what we have to do is to come up with a distance from this line in parametric form to the plane which we are given. So in short, it's just the distance from a given line, and of which we are going to talk about. We'll find whether that line is parallel to that plane, okay, because it's important that you understand whether a line that you're given is parallel to the given plane. So um, so let's say find the distance. So it's just from this line to the plane. Let's look at how we how we work around this. So the line that we are given, this is the question right here. So I don't have to copy it, I guess it's already there. So the first thing that you do is to check if the line is parallel. So when the line is parallel to the given plane, you are able to find the distance from that line to the plane. If the line is not parallel to the plane, then the line would eventually meet or intersect the plane at some point, and the distance would simply be zero, obviously. Okay, so this is because when you say distance, it actually means the shortest separation between them, and um, and the intersection point that separation is zero. So it's basically like more like the shortest distance. So if you look at the point of intersection, okay, then try to find the distance. But the point of intersection is actually there's no distance because that line is intersecting that plane. So you won't really talk about the distance between from a plane to a line whereby that line is intersecting that plane. So the first thing to do is to determine if this line that we have is parallel to this plane. So now the question is, how do you determine if a line is parallel to the plane? So what you do is that we are supposed to find the dot product of the direction vector of the line as well as the normal vector of the plane. So we're going to get the normal vector of this plane and the direction vector of this line. Then from there, we'll find the dot product. If we get a zero, okay, that is going to be an indication that this line is parallel to the plane. So uh, let me start with the line uh, direction vector. Okay, direction vector, that's the one that we get to start with. So here allow me to indicate it using v like that. Then let's say this is going to be equals to, so we can use those. So for the line, how do you get the direction vector of a line? So how you get the direction vector of a line is just picking the coefficients of the t. So you have a t here, you have a t here, and you have a t there. So just pick the coefficients. So here this is going to be 1, comma 1, comma minus 1 over 2, like that. Then let's pick the plane normal vector. Okay, the plane normal vector. So to get the plane normal vector is just, again, here is simply the coefficient of the x, the y, and the z, which in this case, let me use n. Okay, this is going to be 1 for x, a 2 for y, and 6 for z, like that. So I have to dot these two guys. Okay, so we'll say the dot product here. Okay, so this is going to be equals to, so the way the dot product works is that it will be this times this plus this times this plus this times that. Okay, so let's see how that is going to come about. So it's 1 multiplied by 1 plus 1 multiplied by 2 plus minus 1 over 2 multiplied by 6. Okay, so this part here gives me a 1 plus this part gives me a 2 plus, then this part gives me minus half by 6 is minus, it's actually a minus here, so not a plus, so it's a minus a 3. Okay, so that would be like 3 minus 3, that is clearly a 0. So from here because the dot product is zero, it shows us that or it tells us that the line and the plane are parallel. Okay, so having done that, we can now go ahead and come up with the distance. So since the two are parallel, the distance is just going to be equals to like the distance from any point on the line to the plane itself. So you pick a random point. Remember, a line is something like that, right? So you can have a point here, 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 like anywhere. Whatever coordinates you have here, here, or there, and like that, they are going to be different. Okay, they're going to be different, but the distance is still going to be the same because it will be to a certain plane that you have. Okay, so maybe it's something like that. So maybe like from this point to that point or anything, and from that point to that point, it's still going to be the same since they are parallel. So you don't expect the distance to be different if you pick random points. So let me just maybe continue using this illustration. So you have A, B, C, D, A, like that. So you don't expect to say, okay, maybe the distance from A to the plane is different with the distance from E to the plane. It's still the same because this line at any point is parallel to what? To this plane. So you don't expect any difference there. So we say the distance is just going to be the distance from any point on the line to the plane. That's why we use the word any, because it's any random point. So we're going to pick a point on the line, which is actually very easy because we already have a point, which is just like we pick these two here, this one and this one here. It's a point on this line. So remember, when we are picking the direction vector, we are picking the coefficients of, or let me say, when we are choosing the direction vector, you're using the coefficients of t here and this t there. Then when it comes to the point on the line, this one here, because we are given this in parametric form, if I was to write it in a different form, it's more like you have how can I write it? It's more like you have the equation of the line as open bracket, you have a 2 comma let me see, 2 comma 1 comma minus 1 over 2, then I'll say plus t, then we have the vector which is 1 comma 1 comma minus 1 over 2, like this. This is still correct. This is still the correct equation for this plane, I mean for this line. So this one right here is a point, so that's what you're going to see, to choose the point on the plane. Let me use p. It's going to be equals to 2 comma 1 comma minus 1 over 2, like that. So we have the point. Remember, so we say this is the distance from any point on the plane, on the line rather, to the plane. So, and at this point, it's actually at a point P, we say, or it's like a point where t is equals to 0. So it's more like this is going to be 0, 0, and 0 there, like that. Okay. So that's where t is going to be equals to 0. Then we still have our plane, which is x plus 2y plus 6z is equals to 10. Then the formula that we use to find the distance, we're going to say distance d is equals to be the absolute value of a times x naught plus b times y naught plus c times z naught, like that, minus d. Okay, then this is going to be divided by the square root of a squared plus b squared plus c squared, like that. So now the question is, which one is your a, your b, your c, and your d, and which one is your x naught, y naught, and z naught? So your a, okay, your a is equals to 1. How do we get this from? Okay, so your a, your b, your c, these are just the coefficients of this x, the y, and the z. So it simply means your a is equals to 1. Okay, we say a is equals to 1, b is equals to 2, c is equals to 6. Your d is going to be equals to this guy here, which is a 10. Okay, so I have a 10, like that. Then it simply means your x naught is a point, which is this one. So this is just going to be more like your x naught y naught, z naught. That's the point that you're starting with. So this is going to be 2, then y naught will be equals to 1, then z naught will be equals to minus 1 over 2, like that. So just a matter of substituting in this guy here, then we'll have what we are looking for. So here we have the absolute value of, so a times x naught. So it's clearly a times x naught. So it's 1 times 2, which is a 2, plus b times y naught. So it's b, which is a 2, times y naught, which is a 1. So that is still a 2 there, plus. Then c times what is c? Okay, c times z naught or z naught, which is this one here. So c times negative 1 over 2 is going to be minus 3, minus what's our d? It's a 10, like that. Then divide by the square root of a squared. You have like 1 squared, which is a 1, plus b squared, that is 2 squared, which is going to be a 4, plus 6, which is a, that's our c. So c squared, 6 squared, that's going to be 36. So here on the numerator we are going to have so that would be a 4 minus that would be what, minus 13, right? So divide by the square root of, so this one here, when you add it, that would be 36 plus 4, that's 40, plus 1, that's going to be 41. Then 4 minus 13 is minus 9, but because of the absolute value which we want, it's just going to be 9 over the square root of 41, like that. Okay, so what does this now tell us? So this tells us that d is equals to 9 over the square root of 41 units, because it's distance. We don't know whether dealing with meters, centimeters, inches, or something, so we just write units there like that, and that is the distance. Okay,